that I'm looking to put on the handle down through strike. And you can see the club sits way too much in the fingers. And today I want to talk about the right hand. Right hand has been a key player in the golf swing ever since we gripped the golf club with two hands. But the overall feeling is that this right hand should not be used at all, because for some reason we relate the right hand with a slice. But what we don't understand is that the right hand can equally hit a draw. And the right hand, when we start hitting baby little draws, can start to actually be used as something that is a positive relationship to the golf club and the golf ball, rather than the right hand, the right arm, the right shoulder, the right hip seen as something that just causes us to slice the golf ball. The right hand and its placement on the golf club, when you have put your left hand on the golf club in the right manner, is now a huge asset. And in many of the comments that I hear when I talk about the pull phase in the golf club or golf swing, people say, which hand are you pulling with? Pull with both hands. And so this right hand, when it's on the golf club, when you place it on the golf club in the right manner, it will really start to change how that right forearm works and how it delivers down through strike. So let's talk about how it's placed on the golf club to start with. Now for me, I'm always looking for force down with both hands. So if you drop down and give me 10, when I'm doing a press up here, the force that I'm putting on the floor with both of my hands, the pad of both of my hands, is the force that I'm looking to put on the handle down through strike. Now, if I'm putting force on the handle to oppose the sag of the club head, because that club head, as it's swinging around me, is trying to pull to the floor, the pad of that hand is a key player in allowing me to feel like I can keep that pressure down with the handle, which allows me to get some good postural angles down through strike in an effort to hit the ball with a draw. The right hand, therefore, when we've got the left hand on the golf club in the correct manner, do go check out that video to sort your left hand out. Crucial, essential. The right hand can now start to feel like the pad of the right hand and the palm of the right hand starts to sit to the floor. So when I hold the golf club up and I've got my left hand in the right place, I'm going to point my palm to the camera, the crease down the middle of my right hand, I'm going to sit on the top of the golf club, and then I'm going to put my fingers on. Now all of a sudden, the fingers are in contact with the golf club. Rather than a lot of you put the grip way underneath here, and you can see the club sits way too much in the fingers. And if you're an interlock or an overlap guy or girl, it's too often seen as, I've really got to get that hand right the way in there. Got to get some real good interlock. Well, if you put the hand on the golf club in the right manner with a good left hand, this interlock suddenly becomes way less. It's almost like the first third of my pinky finger is now interlocking, and the palm of the right hand is now sitting more on the top of the golf club. When the palm of the hand starts to sit more on top of the golf club, as soon as I start to move that hand back, I'll start to get a bit more external rotation with the right forearm. As soon as I start to get more external rotation with the right forearm, from the palm looking to the floor to the palm starting to look more up, I start to sit. Sorry to point my butt at you. I start to sit my right shoulder down, which starts to fortify the function of my spine. My shoulders start to sit down on my rib cage, which allows me to start to rotate a little bit more from the middle of my back upwards, as opposed to when the right hand sits too much underneath, and then the right hand starts to want to internally rotate on the way back. Watch what happens to my right shoulder. It's now an adversary, an antagonist to the structure of my back, and I don't really want to start to fold and load my right arm, because the folding and loading of that right arm really allows me to start to pull that handle more in front. And if you like a good old pull on the golf club, go check that video out. So that pulling of the golf club forwards really comes from an externally rotated right forearm at the top of the backswing. I can now pull that golf club forwards. I'm not trying to tuck it, but how that right hand sat on the golf club as it worked back, it gave me that external rotation, which allowed the golf club to feel like it's more loaded here, which in conjunction with some leg action, good old leg action that gets us opened up and around the ball, it really allows me to start to unload my right side and start to hit golf shots that look reasonably straight. Once again, this is just good movement with good grip, understanding how we keep good form and function with the body that doesn't give us injury, that allows us to move with speed. So the right hand, when the palm of the right hand sits on the golf club, this is a great drill. Get yourself with the palm of the hand pointing to the floor and get your fingers pointing to the golf ball. And as you start to move back, really allow these fingers to start to open themselves out so you get some external rotation. And now at the top of the backswing, we're allowing ourselves to feel like the fingers are going to point to the right. All this is doing is changing the external nature of that right forearm with a right hand that sits more on top. It's really important that if you apply this right hand, you have got the left hand in good situ. As I say, you've got to go and check that video out to get your left hand right, because this will make you worse if you've just negated that left hand. So now we've got this external feeling of the right hand, and the right shoulder really starts to sit me out with my shoulder, with my forearm, and all of a sudden it will start to really open my right side of my body up. So I get exactly the same feeling with my right hand. I really start to feel how I can open my right arm up. So there's that feeling of opening the right arm up because of that better grip position in the fingers. There's that external rotation that I'm starting to feel at the top through that right hand, which allows me to pull that golf club forwards and around me. And the more I unload my right side, the more it will pull that golf ball back onto target. So there's the external rotation. I'm really going to feel like I unload my right side now, which allows that face to really start to move around, and I start to get that bend back to the left. That was a face close to path at 6.5 with a path that was dead straight, an angle of attack that was down at 4.4. So this right hand on the top, external rotation in the fingertips, will really start to feel how you keep structuring the shoulder. It will allow you to open up your chest and really start to feel how that shaft is a little bit more laid down for you in your downswing, that will start to square it all up down at the bottom with the ball. Now understand that this is only part of the ingredient. This is just another layer of the learning and understanding where the hands need to be on the golf club. If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are premium leather golf gloves that are trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODGolfCoaching for 10% off your next order, and I promise you, you won't ever look back. The two hands must work together. Both palms almost look like they're facing the floor. Remember that press up that I did? That's the pressure that we're trying to exert on the handle to oppose the force that the head is pulling to the earth's core and trying to elevate the handle, which gets you two inside, tucked with your elbow, handle out to the right, shanks feel open, club face, and all that garbage. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. That, my friends, is good coaching.